Hey everyone, we're back for the late show. I was in the middle of feeding the cats, and I was like, "Oh no, it already went off." I wasn't expecting it to happen this early, but that's okay. How is everyone? Good to see you. I don't know how many people we'll get. Hey Mel Mac and DJ. We'll see. We might get one person. We might get 50. We'll see. We'll play the how many viewer game will we get tonight? All right, hold on, people of the world. Let me get some information up for you. Actually, there was a story I wanted to read that we didn't get done before. This one from KTVX. Okay. Hey guys and girls, how are you? Good to see you. Hey Diamond Heart. Good to have you, Gambler. Good to have you too. Two teenagers arrested in connection to possible abduction turned homicide of 21-year-old. How does that work? It says Taylorsville police said two teenagers, a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old, were arrested and booked into Salt Lake City Valley Detention Center. The two teenagers were arrested on multiple felony charges in connection to the homicide. In a press release, Taylorsville police confirmed the identity of the body to be Alexia Franco, who police said goes by the name Alex and identifies as male. Officials are now investigating the alleged abduction as a homicide. Franco's family spoke to ABC4.com on Monday and said they believe Franco was the victim. Investigations so far have not revealed that this was a hate crime. Officials said Franco's body was found Tuesday morning in a remote desert area in Utah County with what appeared to be a single gunshot wound. Cheshire elaborated during the press conference and said Franco's body was found in the western part of Lehi. There we go. It says it was confirmed by the state medical examiner's office on Tuesday that the body found was the person who was reported as abducted. According to the Taylorsville police, detectives believe one of the arrested teenagers to be responsible for the shooting of Franco. Officials are still working on reaching out to possible witnesses and others who were in the area at the time of the alleged homicide. They said, "We believe there was possibly another person in the vehicle." Taylorsville police said the incident happened around 4:15 p.m. on March 17 after Franco got into a white Jeep Liberty around the area of the 3800 West, 5700 South. Witnesses reported hearing a possible gunshot. Cheshire said the incident took place near Franco's residence and said officials believe a shot was fired almost immediately after he got into the car. Police said video footage from the scene clearly identified the sound reported by witnesses as a gunshot. Cheshire said Franco knew at least one of the individuals in the car and got into the vehicle willingly, but investigators are still working to determine the cause and motive of the shooting. What the hell? Let's watch this video.
With breaking news, a 21-year-old man's body has been found in a remote desert in Utah County, and police are now confirming that man is Alex Franco, who was reportedly abducted from a Taylorsville neighborhood on Sunday. Now, detectives say neighbors reported hearing a gunshot right before Franco was to disappear. Now, we also are learning a 15 and 17-year-old are facing felony charges, and police are holding a press conference as we speak. So we are going to take that live right now. It looks like they are still working to speak on this. Now, we did speak with Franco's aunt last night, talking about how terrified they are on what has happened. She said that she had plans to spend time with Franco on Sunday. At the time, police weren't giving us much information, even who Franco was, giving us limited information other than showing us this truck, saying that they believe that truck was involved. Now, initially, police were saying that they had a suspected abduction that had occurred on Sunday around 4:30, saying that it happened in the Taylorsville neighborhood. We are now going to go to that press conference because it is starting right now. So let's take that live.
The Taylorsville Police Department to a possible abduction in the area of 5800 South and 3900 West. We arrived in that area and conducted an investigation, talking to witnesses. there was a party that had gotten into a white Jeep Liberty, and shortly after getting into the white Jeep Liberty, a gunshot was heard and the vehicle sped off and fled from the area. Investigators have been working since that day to help locate the vehicle. Yesterday afternoon, investigators were able to locate the Jeep Liberty that we believe was involved in this incident.
I don't understand though. Why would they fire as soon as the person got in the vehicle? Like, was it a planned hit or an assassination? It's not really an abduction if they got into the car willingly and then were murdered. It's just a murder. It's almost like it was planned. I just don't understand why you shoot them as soon as they step foot in the car. It's a bit odd. Let's listen.
The vehicle was seized. Investigators also authored some search warrants, one at a residence, and some other warrants, and were able to positively identify the vehicle as being involved. Early this morning, investigators conducted a search in kind of a rural part of Utah County, and were able to locate the body of Alexia Franco, and it was deceased. Alexia goes by the name of Alex. It appeared that there was a gunshot wound, single gunshot wound that Franco had received. There were, during the investigation last night, there were 2 juvenile males who were taken into custody and arrested and booked into detention on felony charges related to the homicide. This is still currently an active investigation. We do believe that one of the juveniles that we have in custody was the person that was actually the person who fired the firearm. The investigation is still active, though, as we believe that there was possibly another person in the vehicle that may have witnessed this, and we're still actively investigating that part of it.
Lieutenant, what's the connection of the teens and Alex?
Well, currently, we're still investigating this incident. The information I can give you is that Alex knew at least one of the people and got into the vehicle willingly and willfully, right? So it's believed that they knew at least one person inside the vehicle.
Do we know where they were going? Why he got into the vehicle in the first place?
With our investigation still being active, we're not really releasing all that information at this time. But we do believe that the shooting did occur. That a shot was fired when Alex had gotten into the vehicle, and we have some evidence that shows that, to include some video and some Ring doorbell cameras and things like that help us determine that we believe that.
They said in this statement that they don't believe it's a hate crime. I can show you. Hold on. The investigation so far does not reveal that this is a hate crime. Police have not obtained the weapon that was used, and it's not clear where the teen got the weapon.
Did happen.
Do you have a motive right now? Is this gang related? Is it a drug deal gone bad? How did they know each other?
At this point, we're still investigating that, and we're not going to release any of that information just at this time.
Is this considered a hate crime?
The investigation so far has not revealed that this is a hate crime.
And where was this abduction? Was this at Alex's home in the front yard, or that location where this happened? How does that play in?
Yeah, it was on the same street in the area where Alex was residing.
Okay, so he got out of his house, got in the car, and then my understanding is the gunshot happened almost immediately. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and what area of Utah County did you find his body?
In the western parts of the western part of the Lehigh area.
The writing here where it says it does not appear to be a hate crime, and then you listen to his statement here, it more sounds like that they just don't want to mention it yet. More like it possibly is, but they just don't. I don't know. They just don't want to talk about it as of yet because their investigation is not finished. I wouldn't be surprised if we find out this is some sort of hate crime. Because, I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense otherwise. Like, why would you shoot him as soon as they open that door? It is very odd. Why don't you abduct them, take them out to the desert, and then shoot them? It's a lot less messy to shoot someone in the desert and then just drive away than to shoot someone as soon as they get in your car. Then you're going to have a bullet wound in your car, trace evidence in your car, gunshot powder in your car, possibly blood and other things in your car, just a whole heap of other crap. Unless you're planning to torch the car, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It really doesn't. Okay, let's listen to the rest.
What's
And
part of the
those
area?
two teenagers, do they have criminal records already?
I don't have any information on their criminal history background.
And that western part of the Lehigh area, it's a fair distance from Taylorsville in that original neighborhood. How were you guys able to track that down?
We were able to track it down through our investigation after locating the vehicle and being able to conduct some interviews and some search warrants. We were able to get some information that led us out to that area.
What did you find in the car?
We haven't released any information on what we found in the car so
Have
far.
you obtained the weapon that was used?
We have not obtained the weapon that was used.
And so was that car owned by one of those teenagers?
We're not releasing that information at this time with the vehicle information. We do have the vehicle that we believe is the vehicle. But at this time, we're not releasing who it belonged to or
Did
what it
they
was.
ditch the car out there?
They did not. No. We located the car within Salt Lake County.
It's been a busy.
All right, if you're just joining us now, that was Taylorsville Police holding a press conference on the body found in Utah County, confirming that that is, in fact, 21-year-old Alex Franco, who was, they believed at one point, abducted on Sunday around 4 p.m. The 21-year-old who was reported abducted, they said that they found his body in the western part of Utah County with one gunshot wound. Now police telling us they have two juveniles in custody. They say at least one of them, Alex knew. They say Alex got into that vehicle, and shortly after he left in that vehicle, they heard a gunshot go off. Now, they also say that those two juveniles that they have in custody are facing felony charges, and they believe that one of those people is, in fact, responsible for Alex's death. They aren't releasing much information about those people and likely won't release much information about those people because they are minors in this case. We will continue to follow the story and bring you the very latest information. We have Sarah Murphy out there who is covering that.
I don't know. I think if you're a big enough boy or you're a big enough girl to shoot someone and commit murder and abduction, you don't deserve the shield of media being, quiet about your name or previous charges or anything like that. You do big boy crimes, you should have to deal with the consequences for sure. Hey, Beauty for Ashes, how are you? I don't believe in this sheltering people just because they're 17 or whatever. I mean, maybe for like minor charges or whatever, but not for murder, not for abduction. And if this ends up turning into a hate crime, not for a hate crime. It's there should be like the three things that are ruled out for any kind of sealment or compressing the case or whatever they call it. It's ridiculous. Yeah, treat like an adult. Change them. Get them moved from juvenile court to adult court. Strip them of the right to have a juvenile court hearing. I mean, if you've got enough proof that you reckon you can definitely prove it, yeah, take it to a judge and get them put into an adult courtroom. Because, I mean, it's ridiculous. There's just some things in life that shouldn't allow within our society to give you that kind of shield or protection. I mean, you blatantly took someone's life, not even thinking about it. They opened he went into the car, and as soon as he went in there, they fired the gun. So it wasn't even like a long drawn out thing and, we thought about it and then, we shot it by accident or whatever. No, it was like they planned it. So we'll see. Hey, Melmac. Good to see you, my friend. We have so many issues with youth crime. Same in here in Australia, same in the US, because these kids are not like kids back in the day. They have everything at their fingertips. They know more about the law than I ever did at that age. Probably more than you guys ever did either, because everything's right at their fingertips. They can look up the laws, they can look up the statutes, they can find out what can and can't be done to them, and they work around it. They're clever. They're very clever kids. The last couple of generations are very smart, and they know exactly what they can do, and get away with. So our laws have to change too to show them that there is an impact to your crimes and that you're not going to be hidden away and no one's ever not going to know about it just because you were 17. You know. So we'll see. Hey Marlene, where is Marlene? Is Marlene here? Oh, this Marlene. We have two Marlenes. We have this Marlene and we have Marlene. We have two Marlenes. Yeah, they're a bit more self-focused. That's a good way of putting it. What a sad case. I don't know what more we'll find out in the coming days, but I can show you a little bit more here.
Dozens of people gathered here at South Ridge Park to grieve the loss of Alex Franco. There were a lot of tears and a lot of hugs as family and friends shared feelings of devastation, frustration, and confusion. Police say Alex was found dead Tuesday morning in a rural area of Utah County with a single gunshot wound. Two teens, ages 15 and 17, were booked into the Salt Lake Valley Detention Center on multiple felony charges. On Sunday, police had asked the public to look out for a car that was involved in the possible abduction and shooting near 3800 West and 5700 South. Witnesses said they saw Franco get into the vehicle, then heard a possible gunshot before the driver of the SUV fled at high speed. Alex's family members say they have no idea why this happened.
We are going to get to the bottom of all of this. We're going to make sure that whoever did this to you will pay for the rest of their lives. This has affected a lot of people.
What did he do so wrong that gave somebody the right to think they could take his life and take him away from his family? What could he have possibly done and why?
Police are still actively investigating the shooting. Alex's family members say the man was athletic, cheerful, and had a big heart, and they won't give up on making sure justice is served to the ones who took his life. Reporting live in Taylorsville, Jenna Bree, Fox 13 News, Utah.
There you go. That was the vigil. Sorry, I had to cough. That's the vigil for Alexia Franco. You could just see how devastated they were, their family. And they don't understand why either. They're like, why'd you take him from us? What did they do to you? It doesn't seem like they did really anything so far. And nothing excuses murder anyway. Oh, there's a photo of Alexia Franco, goes by Alex. I think we can all see that person is a transgendered person. It doesn't excuse anything done to them. So let's see if we have anything else here. Yeah, a motive would be interesting. I find that interesting that the cops haven't said anything about a motive. Just to keep an eye on that vehicle, but the fact that they caught a gunshot going off in the Zoom or the Ring doorbell, very interesting. Danny Mitchell says, where's Sebastian? Your guess is as good as ours, Danny Mitchell. Mr. Danier. I don't think any of us know right now. I know there's frustration within Sebastian's own family at what is going on right now. in that they feel like the investigation has stalled out and that there's really no new developments going on, and that, it's almost been 4 weeks that Sebastian's been missing, and don't think we're any closer today than we were the first day he went missing. It's really and like the news is slow. Any kind of updates are real slow, unless you want to go watch family members' posts on Facebook or on the Find Sebastian Facebook group. In the mainstream media, it's slowed down considerably. The last big update was 5 days ago for Sebastian on the mainstream news. Like, that's the last one. That was the that CCTV with the 2 spooky lights. That was the last big update. Other than that, it's just snippets coming out of family members. There's a lot of rumors, and I can't verify any of them, so I can't bring them to you because I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to be a part of the problem unless I can actually verify it, like by a couple of people, and all of them are coming from like a single person or someone who could be related to the family but not 100% sure, or there's people that are related to the family but you don't know the inner workings of their family. How close are they really? Are they really that involved with their life? Do they really know that much inside information? Maybe they're estranged and we don't know that. Maybe they're only talking because Sebastian's in the news, and if this was any other week, they wouldn't even know. So it's hard to know, especially as an outsider. It's very difficult. We have to wait for the press to do more. And the Danny Howard trial finished guilty of second-degree murder. I was looking at another trial. We were going to do one. We were going to do one. Can't remember. But there was a trial going on in America. Daniel Howard. Have a look. Court TV has it. The ex-trooper murder trial. What does it say? It says jury deliberations are underway. Oh, they must have come back. When was this? 7:55 a.m. Okay. Interesting that they don't have it on there. Here. It says jury finds former ISP trooper Daniel Howard guilty of second-degree murder, domestic battery, after hours of deliberation. Okay, hold on. What is this? KY. There's a local news site I'm going to go to, see if they have it.
Of murdering his wife has been found guilty of second-degree murder. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Derek Dice.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. The jury also found him not guilty of first-degree murder. Daniel Howard was accused of murdering his wife, Kendi, in Athol in 2021. At the center of this case was whether Howard staged his wife's death to look like a suicide. The prosecution claimed he knew enough about crime scenes based on his time as a state trooper to stage her death. Howard was immediately led to the jail in handcuffs after the verdict was read on the second-degree murder conviction.
Hold on, I'll try to find something a bit more in depth. Come on, let's see. Here, KRM News.
I want to get back now to our breaking news that a jury has reached a verdict in the trial of a former Idaho State trooper accused of killing his wife.
Took just one day for the jury to make that decision. We want to go out now to our reporter who is live there at the courthouse, KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez with the latest now.
Mark Whitney, Daniel Howard has been on trial since March 4th, and the jury started their deliberations just this morning. They ultimately came to the decision that Howard is guilty of second-degree murder. They say here in Idaho that is punishable by up to life in prison. They just came to this decision about 20 minutes ago. Take a listen.
We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn to the above entitled action for our verdict, unanimously answer the questions submitted to us as follows. Count 1, is the defendant Daniel C. Howard guilty or not guilty of domestic battery? Guilty. Count 2, is the defendant Daniel C. Howard guilty or not guilty of murder in the first degree? Not guilty. Is the defendant Daniel Howard guilty or not guilty of second-degree murder? Guilty.
Howard initially killed his wife back in February of 2021. It has now been more than 3 years since that day that we now have the verdict in this. Again, this is punishable by up to life in prison, but we just spoke with the prosecuting attorney.
So he could get life in prison. How horrible. I didn't get to watch that trial, but I'm glad that justice has been served. That's all we can ask for. I wanted to show you guys this one. About the one that DJ sent me. This one. Different link to the one DJ sent me, but nonetheless. Mom 27 slips from paraglider seat and plunges to her death in Colombian forest after setting out to conquer her flying phobia. If you had a flying phobia, why would you choose a paraglider? I don't get that mental gymnastics to get that go, yes, I'm very scared of flying. I don't want to go up in a giant safe plane. Let me go up in a paraglider that's made from some, some coat hangers and a propeller and a paddle pop stick and some rubber bands. And let me try that. That'll definitely, if I can do that, I can get on a commercial jetliner. I don't know why she did that. It's so strange. That poor lady. And they're saying now it could be something even more sinister because people in the paragliding community have come out and said there's no way she could have fallen from the paraglider because the way you're buckled in and sat in it, you can't just slip out because you're literally like stuck in it. And they're saying, why now did she slip and fall? Like there's apparently no way that can happen. So they're now saying maybe it wasn't maintained, maybe it wasn't in good condition. But it says a woman's paragliding flight to conquer her fears ended in tragedy when she slipped off her seat mid-flight and fell to her death in the Colombian forest. Daniela Barrios, 27, uploaded a photo to her social media account prior to the deadly flight, advised her families and friends that she was finally ready to get better of her flying phobia. She wrote, "Join me on my crazy things. Let's overcome a fear." Poor lady. And this is like the crash site. Look how like foresty and jungle it is. Like it's awful. I want to see, yeah, look, they're carrying her body back out in a stretcher. Hold on. Let me see if I can find something a bit better than this. No. Hold on. No. Okay, that's weird. I thought maybe we could find a localized news video to watch from it. No, only in Spanish. Can only find it in Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish, so. Yeah, can't go any near ports of, exit. Better than getting a hung trial. That's what it is. Better than getting a hung trial like what happened in Australia. Ended up with a hung trial. It says Barrios and the pilot took off from El Castillo Mountain in Codillo municipality on Saturday afternoon, and during the flight fell from his seat while they were flying over Pradera Alta Trail, according to the fire department. And it says the pilot, whose name has not been released, was unable to stop and continued the flight until he was able to land. So he just went like, adios, bye-bye, you fall off the paraglider, I meet you at the airport. Okay, buddy. It says a search and rescue mission was launched around 3 p.m. and concluded around midnight when firefighters located Barrios' body. She did not show vital signs when she was found and was pronounced dead on the scene. There's a photo of her. Very pretty young lady. Apparently the young woman slipped from the seat where the co-pilot is sitting. Yeah, there was another one though. Hold on. There was a better one than this. Yeah. There was a bit here about
All right, let's talk about
paragliders. Yeah. However, paragliding experts have disputed that, saying it's practically impossible for them to break or come off, and that the passenger may not have been properly attached to the glider. So they're saying that there's no chance this happened the way they said it did. Additionally, there was no seat found next to her body, so she wasn't like she was attached to the seat and then fell off, or the seat broke off and then fell with her. So they are wondering, how did this happen, or why did it happen, and how come, she should have been really like strapped in, so there was no way for her to get out until they got on the ground, and then the other person may have been able to unbuckle her, or she may have been able to unstrap herself from the glider. So, we may find out more about this. Maybe a pilot will be arrested. We'll see. Because at minimum, it could be a workplace charge. He charged her for the flight, and his passenger ended up dead, but he ended up fine. So he'll have to explain that. Oh, thanks. Hey, what is it? Hey, Aussie. Thank you. Aussie says, I'm usually on the replay crew, but would like to let you know that I am interested when you cover Aussie stories. We do cover a lot of Australian stories, my friend. Jojo, this is a kind of death that leaves you with no words. Can't say she died doing what she loved. She was afraid and died that way. And she was trying to get better. She did this to overcome her fear. So it's not even ironic. It's awful. Okay, I see this, Gambler. I see this. Alright, share this. Candelario. No, we're not gonna watch an hour of that. It says an Ohio mother, has been sentenced to life in prison without parole after pleading guilty in the death of her toddler. Christelle, 32, was arrested in June 2023 after police said she abandoned her daughter while vacationing in Michigan and Puerto Rico for 10 days. Prosecutors said the child was extremely dehydrated at the time of her death. Her body was found in pack and play, soiled with urine and feces. Last month, Candelario pleaded guilty to 1 count of aggravated murder and 1 count of endangering children. Oh, she could be gone for life. Hold on, guys. At sentencing, Candelario's mother spoke about her daughter's troubled adulthood. Who cares? Who cares about her troubled adulthood? No one gives a stuff. Tell us about why your daughter's life was so troubled. and what made it, possible for her to be at home while you're in a completely different state. Tell us that story. Don't tell us about your crap. I hate when they do that. It's like, tell us why you felt the need to leave your child alone for, weeks or whatever. How long was she alone for, the girl? Let's see. I find this interesting. Faraglia asked the court to consider jail phone calls in which Candelario made plans for a future outside of prison and spoke of what a blast she had in Puerto Rico. In another call with her mother, Candelario compared herself to others in prison for murder and said her daughter's death was an accident. It's not like I did it intentionally. It's not like I picked up a gun or a bat or the girl bled. No, you left her home while you traveled to Puerto Rico and Michigan or whatever and left her to die a fucking horrific death. Horrific. She was dehydrated to death. No food. Like, what are you doing? How mental are you? How crazy in the coconut are you? Come on. You can't leave children alone and so you can go travel. It's not what it is. You have children, they become your life. It's not the other way around. You don't go, all right, 2-year-old, I'll see you when I get back from Puerto Rico. I left a 50 on the fridge. Make sure you get some groceries and tell the neighbors to look in on you. They're not 15, they're not 16. Even then, people would have issues with it. Jeez, what an absolute nutcase. Investigators viewed more than 600 hours of doorbell and traffic camera footage and found evidence that Candelario's vehicle leaving and returning to her house several times between June 5th and June 16, but no signs of her daughter. Prosecutors played highlights of the video, including one from June 9th where the child's wails could be heard on the neighbor's doorbell camera. It's interesting that the neighbors didn't call police during that time. Or maybe they did and they couldn't get in. I don't know. It says prosecutors played Candelario's hysterical 911 call in which she pleaded for help. Her lawyer, Derek Smith, said the call showed how truly she felt about her daughter's death. No. Sorry. Not buying it. The defense lawyer said his client was guilty of narcissistic, selfish, abhorrent, absolutely the worst parenting imaginable. Smith told the judge that Candelario had stopped taking serious medication for anxiety and depression, which affected her mood and judgment. Man, you know what happens when I stop taking my anxiety medication? I book trips to Puerto Rico and leave my kid at home. Happens all the time. Have you ever read that tiny writing on the box that you get that has all the serious side effects? One of them is possibly leaving children at home and taking trips out of the country. Man, she should have read the box first. It always has this stuff on it. Far out. Don't give it anything. No leeway. No life outside of jail. Just keep her in there. Too dumb to live in the world around us. For real. Some people don't deserve children. Some people don't deserve society. In handing down his sentence, Judge Sheehan said the bond between a mother and child is one of the purest and most sacred bonds between human beings. It's a relationship based on love, trust, and unwavering protection. Yet in a shocking betrayal of fundamental trust, you committed the ultimate act of betrayal, leaving your baby terrified, alone, unprotected to suffer. What I heard was the most gruesome death imaginable. The only difference is prison will feed you and give you the liquids that you denied her. Good work, Mr. or Mrs. Judge Sheehan. What an absolute piece of work this woman is. I don't want to hear about your crappy childhood. I want to hear about it. Tell us why your daughter died. Tell us what went through your head during that time and why you thought it was a good idea. We don't want to hear about your sob story. Sick of hearing sob stories on crime, court hearing. It's here.
Your Honor, good morning.
Sorry. Hay mucho dolor que tengo con respecto a la pérdida de mi bebé Yailin.
There's so much pain that I have in regards to the loss of my baby, Yailin.
Estoy muy dolida por todo lo que pasó.
I'm extremely hurt about everything that happened.
No estoy tratando de justificar mis actos,
I am not trying to justify my actions,
pero nadie sabe cuánto yo estaba sufriendo
but nobody knew how much I was suffering
y por lo que estaba pasando.
and what I was going through.
Todos los días le pido perdón a Dios y a mi hija, Yailin.
Every day I ask forgiveness from God and from my daughter, Jaylene.
Soy una persona creyente de Dios
I'm a person who believes in God.
y reconozco hoy que todos y todas, muchas ocasiones, somos tentados por el enemigo.
And I recognize today that all of us are sometimes subject to the enemy.
Dios y mi hija me han perdonado.
God and my daughter have forgiven me.
Quisiera pedir perdón también a mi hija Amaya
I would also like to ask Amaya, my daughter Amaya, for forgiveness.
y a mis padres.
And I'd like to ask my parents for forgiveness.
No se imaginan cuánto yo era unida a mi hija Yailin y Amaya.
One can't imagine how close I was to my daughters, Jaylene and Amaya,
Y cuánto nos amábamos todas.
and how much we all love one another.
Extraño mucho a mis hijas.
I miss my daughters very much.
Hoy nada puede devolverme a Maya, a Yailin, perdón.
Now, I know that nothing can bring Jaylene back.
Y no pasa un día
I'm sorry, but she shows right here why she doesn't understand the seriousness of her actions. She keeps saying stuff like, I hope my daughter can forgive me. It's not about you, it's about what you did. And your statement here is just showing that you don't comprehend the situation, even in Spanish or English. She's really frustrating to listen to because I think she's only sad that she got caught. She's literally, I don't believe a word because it's all about me and this and my mom and blah blah. No, talk to your daughter. Talk about what you did. Show that you understand the seriousness of your actions. Tell them like, I don't see it either, Kathy. I don't see anything. All I see is that she's like, oh, they told me I should prepare a statement to the judge, and for leniency. And it's just the stuff coming out of her mouth is rubbish. Really is. Makes me mad. Yeah, a lot of me. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. I hope she can forgive me. I was so close to my daughter. You weren't that close because you're in freaking Puerto Rico. Doesn't show a very close connection or bond. Can't have missed your daughter that much. You were in another country on a vacation. Ridiculous. Anyway, I don't want to listen to her anymore. She makes me mad. I'll end up swearing again. Oh, we got like 40 seconds. Fine.
que no deje de pensar en ella.
And not a day goes by when I do not think of her.
Le pido a Dios que algún día pueda volverla a ver
I pray to God that one day I will see her again
y poder retornar junto con Amaya, que es nuestra única esperanza el día de hoy.
And I pray also that one day I can be reunited with Amaya, who is our only hope right now.
Thank you, Susan. Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let me see if I can find what the judge says to her. Yeah, I found it.
And we begin with really a disturbing story and an emotional sentencing in Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court.
The bond between a mother and a child is one of the most purest and most sacred bonds between human beings.
A judge has sentenced a mother to life in prison without the possibility of parole after she left her baby at home and flew to Puerto Rico. Judge Brendan Sheehan told 32-year-old Crystal Candelario she committed the ultimate act of betrayal.
Candelario pleaded guilty to endangering children and aggravated murder in February, 8 months after the death of her 16-month-old daughter, Jaylene. Prosecutors pointed to doorbell video showing Candelario leaving her home without Jaylene on June 4th. She returns 2 days later and then takes off again that night with a suitcase. Pictures appear to show her enjoying time in Puerto Rico before heading to Detroit. She doesn't reappear outside her house until June 16th.
The thought of this child dying every day while she's having fun, humanity can't stomach that. And those are the actions that need to be punished. She abandoned her daughter and left her for dead.
She didn't want this to happen. You could hear that. Screaming, help me, my daughter's dying.
Candelario's attorney said nothing excuses her actions, but he said his client was dealing with depression and anxiety and not getting the treatment she needed. It was also revealed in court that after she found her daughter, Candelario put new clothes on her to try to hide the filth. And then she lied to police. The medical examiner and lead homicide detective on this case described it as the worst case they have investigated.
And we'll hear from those who spoke on behalf of Jaylene. Coming up in the news at 5, Candelario also spoke.
That's horrific. It really is. I mean, I get it. Depression's a really hard and messed up thing to deal with. I know people with depression. I know people that have all sorts of mental health issues. I really do. I've lived with people who have bad depression. It's awful. But there's help out there. And even at your lowest moment, even at your lowest moment of depression, you know you can't leave a baby alone. Like there is no excusing that under any circumstance. Like everyone knows that. Everyone's not stupid. Exactly, and that's what I don't think we ever heard explained. What did she think was going to happen to her child? Why did she think it was okay to leave the child for that long? Those were, if I was a judge, I would have stripped her down, verbally on why those two things were never answered correctly or in enough detail. That's what maybe would have got her a reduction if that's what she was looking for. Maybe if she explained more in detail her thought process and, what she was thinking all those times when she was away, not like single word answers, like in depth. Maybe that would have been something to look at in sentencing, but yeah, it can be really bad. There was that other lady, what was her name? I have to look it up. Where is it? Zoe Penrod, we spoke about her like in the last couple of months, right? Her postnatal depression was so bad. She thought voices were telling her to go live in the forest. They were calling for her constantly, 24 hours a day. Her own voice, voices of friends and family, and unknown voices were calling her, come outside, come into the forest. Like, I can't imagine what that's like to deal with, but, right, I don't, like, we all know at a basic level in life, we know that kids can't be alone. I just it's a fundamental. Yeah, but there is help, right? There's no need to leave the baby. Even if you say you're like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. I can't look after the baby. I'm not equipped enough. I just need to get away. You could call someone. She had family. She had friends. She could have said, look, please just go look after the child. I can't tell you why I have to go. I just have to go. But please make sure the baby's okay. But I have to go. She could have done anything like that. Something like that. I'm sure one of her friends would have looked after the kid for a couple of weeks, right? We have friends like that will help us, even if it's not even a close friend, or at least they would have called authorities or something. Jojo says she could have called home and said, I messed up. Go get her now to the family. She had much time, like a lot of time to figure it out. Instead of drinking mojitos and whatever and taking photos on tropical beaches. I feel very sorry for women suffering from postpartum. It's an extremely difficult illness to have. But I don't know, something on this one that just doesn't click right. And it's just her actions, her statements. I don't know if she's still off or whatever, but it's not right. Something's not okay. Right. It's just like a basic. It's just like a basic knowledge. It's like it's primal. We know kids can't be left alone. Like if you saw a kid in the middle of the street, you wouldn't be like, "Oh, that's all right. It'll get home." No, you would stop and be like, "Oh, little baby, wait here while I call authorities or look around for your mum and dad." Like I'd be like looking around for their mum and dad, and then I'd be like, "Oh crap, let's call the police." You wouldn't just be like, "That's all right, little one, you make it home." No, because we all know little kids can't be left alone. It's a basic natural thing we all know because they're defenseless. They're defenseless. They don't know anything. They're just little tiny sponges. They don't know anything. They only know what you tell them. They only know what you feed them. That's it. They're not that clever yet. Maybe they're clever when they get older. Yeah. Frustrating case. I hate cases like that. It's so frustrating. It's frustrating more for people who can't have children because, there's people who can't have children who would die to have a child. And, you see people abuse children like this, like they're not wanted. It's hard to listen to, very hard. Let's find something else to talk about before we start throwing stuff around. I was hoping for an update on Samantha Murphy. I thought, oh, maybe by the afternoon we'll get something, but I don't think we got anything. I don't think they did anything today. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. Mr. Muffin was trying to jump. I don't know what he was trying to do. I think he was trying to jump around the window. He always plays up when I'm on here. Where are we? Here. So I was hoping that we were going to get an update that they found her body, but it doesn't seem like they have. It says inside the Samantha Murphy. Hold on, I'm going to search it because sometimes these papers are very slow to react. Let me see if there's anything on Twitter. Because last time it broke on Twitter like 30 minutes before it was even. Okay, here, see, this is why I checked Twitter. Detectives have wrapped up a fresh search for Ballarat woman Samantha Murphy in bushland in Victoria's northwest after intelligence led them to the area. So they've wrapped up for the day. They've paused the search, apparently. Here, I'll show you the article. Here, it says new intelligence sparks fresh search for Samantha Murphy. It says detectives have scoured bushland in Buninyong near Ballarat in a fresh search to find missing mother Samantha Murphy. Police say fresh intelligence is from a number of sources, has led them to a reserve in the area. Hold on, let's see if we can watch this.
Yeah, so someone's just let the pressure valve. Hasn't been a good nearly 5 weeks.
Sorry, that's not a good video at all. But there's Stephenson. Yeah, he had a temporary gag order. The order on his identity was lifted the following day, but that's not a good one.
The man was interviewed over a number of hours. A number of search warrants have been executed. As a result of those investigations, he has today been charged with the murder of Samantha.
There you go. But here it says that they had wrapped up. Where are they going to tell us that it wrapped up? Look, that's the bushland that they have to search in. You guys can have a look at that. Like, it's pretty tough terrain. Like the stuff you see in Australian bush movies. It's not easy going. That's why they had the police bike squad. They were out there on like, you know, not city bikes, like dirt bikes. They were out there on dirt bikes looking around for her. So they're saying here, since Samantha's disappearance, there's a line search. Look at that. How many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like 20 people or so, all in a line search, looking for clues to what happened to her. Okay, there's no update. I don't know why, but it just says that they've paused today's search. So I don't know if they found anything. I think if they did, we would have maybe heard about it. I don't think we would have. I don't think they'd just be pausing it. They would say there'd be a press conference in the morning or something like that. Just trying to have a look. Yeah, it just says Muffin, you can't come in this room. He's being really naughty. Yeah, there we go. That's all we have. Pause for the day. So maybe they'll go back tomorrow. Maybe we'll get an update in the morning. Just trying to see if there was any renewed information. A renewed search for missing Ballarat mother Samantha Murphy has ended unsuccessfully after a major operation was called off on Wednesday afternoon. So it failed. Police have confirmed they have not located the remains of Samantha Murphy during today's search of bushland at Buninyong. The search is expected to continue over the coming weeks. Wow, that sucks. I think they thought they had it. That's not fun. What a shame. The intelligence must not have been good enough. Yeah, let's watch this. Look, some of the search vehicles. Yeah, this is the area that they're searching through. Look at this. Like pine plantation, that's what it looks like. Burnt out cars. Crap everywhere. So they had a helicopter up there or a drone. Cop car. There you go, there's one of the cops on the motorbikes driving around. That was cool to look at. It's a shame to hear that the search failed though. Would have really been nice to apparently they even had cadaver dogs out there today having a look, but nothing. It says here a reporter for 9 News Melbourne. After 8 hours of trekking through the rugged Buninyong bushland, police have concluded their search. Concluded their search for the day. Sadly, Samantha Murphy's body has not been found. Police wrapped up today's search for Samantha Murphy She has still not been found, and detectives are likely to return in the coming days or weeks. You can just see, I'll show you like the response out here. Look how many police are out there. Who owns the old Commodore from the 1970s? Who owns the old Commo? You can see, look at how many cops and cars. There's a whole car park full of them that came out for today's search. So, oh, actually, hold on. Let me have a look at something. Let me see if they... That looks like a press update, actually. I just want to see if that's what it was. No, I don't see it. They're doing question time. Nah, that's okay. No, that's not what happened. Okay. Let me see your comments. Jojo said, still hard to think this 22-year-old did it. I know. Ted Bundy vibes, maybe. He may have done stuff before we just don't know of. Marlene says, offer him a deal. It would have to get approval from the family. Thavi says, we need to make mental health #1 focus in the US. We are too scared to talk about it and deal with it instead of sweeping it under the rug. I agree. That would help a lot. Sean, that's all right. We don't all wear, like, long trench coats where people question if we've got clothes on underneath. But I get it. In your situation, I get it. I understand. It's all good. I would be cautious too. Let me see. Let me see if we've got anything else for today. Otherwise, we're going to wrap up. And then I'll be back tomorrow night. Yeah, I think we're done. It was about an hour. Yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow night for another 9 p.m. show. And then we'll have another late show, being it's what day is it? Is it Thursday tomorrow? Yeah, it's Thursday. Yeah, so Wednesday for you guys, Thursday for me. And then we'll be back. We'll be back for more news. Yeah, maybe 20. We'll see. We'll see what he says about the circumstances surrounding her death. If he can somehow pull it off that it was an accident, might even get like 8 years. Might even get manslaughter in the end by the time they plea it down. We'll see. Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Hope that was an interesting extra hour bonus show for you. And like I said earlier, we don't have any what's that play? And we don't have any Canva right now due to a copyright issue. So until I get that sorted, there's no ending video for a couple of days. But I should have it back up and running tomorrow. Should have it finished tomorrow. Jojo says his deal should be we don't poke out his other eye if he talks fast. That's right. Yeah, all you rock. Thank you, Moonlight View, for all your help. I appreciate it. And I will see you all for another night with Ping tomorrow night. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel, all the new subscribers. We've had heaps. It is great to see so many new faces. If you are a new face or just an old person who's been around the parts a few times in this channel, leave a comment under this video. Reeby wants to know where you're from, what town, so we can make more more thumbnails like tonight. Someone left that was their town and we made it for them. And so tonight they were represented from Denver. You want to see your town as a thumbnail one night? Leave it in a comment after the show. For everyone else who supports the channel, does all the likes and all that, thank you very much. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Peace out, everyone. Sleep well. See you later. Bye-bye.